Okay, we are live, and so this will be recorded. I'm going to mute myself, and Shweta, you can go ahead and take control. And do you know how to share your screen?
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm going to do a screen share from now onwards, and I'm going to show everything that I've done. And let's start with the slideshow. Okay, escape. Yeah, so okay. So during the past few months, I've been involved in Google Summer of Code 2014 with with the organization of Sisters, and my project was on testing automation, which was particularly to make reusable and automated scripts for web application. Going very particularly, it was to be focused on Sisters portal, which is another project under Sisters at the moment, and it's in its development route at this moment. So this is what I did over the past few months. The objective of this project was to create and maintain and execute automated tests, and it my project involved making a test framework using Selenium. The language I used for it was Java, and the tests were run in JUnit. The tools and technologies that were used were uh, the framework was Selenium, a portable software test framework. Excuse me, I'm getting. Is one of you pinging me? Hmm. Uh, Okay, Wendy, I got your message, but turning off the sound of my computer, wouldn't that just turn my sound off, my voice off?
Yeah, that's fine. You can keep it. If she turns off her sound, we won't hear her, so she can keep it there. I don't know what the sound is in the background. That's okay. Keep going, Shweta.
Okay. Um. So yeah, the language was Java, and since there are various test cases that would involved in this testing automation, so we would require a build automation tool. I used Ant, and that would simply automate all the testing process. The IDE used was Eclipse, and it has pretty much every functionality included in it. You just need to add a few more. We could have used NetBeans, but I'm not sure it had everything I would have used. The requirements that we want is very basic. We need a web browser because we have to test a web application. We need Selenium IDE because the test that we were to run was a user interface, and Selenium is a portable testing framework for web application. It has a record playback tool without and it is quite good because you don't have to learn the scripting language, and you can also make the test cases in the language you want, which can be Java, C Sharp, Ruby, Perl, PHP, Python, Ruby, etc. It is also compatible with any other operating system. I'm currently using Ubuntu, but it can also be run in Windows and Macintosh. The most important thing is it is open source and freely available for everyone who wants to use it. The IDE for coding was Eclipse, and JUnit was a medium for it. Uh, Coming to facts, it was developed by Jason Huggins in 2004, and basically covered everything else. Now, how to install the Selenium IDE? You have to go to the link that I have mentioned here, and you have to download the IDE as instructed. While you are at it, you may as well go to scroll down, uh, go to this link, download the latest version. I got 2.5, and when you click it, there's a JavaScript pop-up from Firefox asking, okay, it is a Firefox plugin, so it would be more comfortable if you download it from there and work on Firefox. And it will ask, the pop-up will ask if you are sure you want to allow this installation. Go ahead, and while you are at it, scroll down, get the Selenium client and WebDriver language binding. I was using the language Java, so just download here. Since you would want something that will require changing the Selenium from Selenium and to Java compatible test code. So yes, get this, and then get Eclipse if you haven't done it yet. And okay, so changing the format of Selenium test. Open the Selenium IDE. Okay, this is the plugin you will have on after downloading Selenium. All you have to do is open the options button, go to option, and you have to check this checkbox, enable experimental features. It's going to ask that if are you sure you want to do this, and you say okay, I'm very sure. And then whenever you click, you are going to have the codes in a more program based format. You have to go to options, and you have to change the format into Java JUnit 4 WebDriver, after which you get all this. Otherwise it would have just mentioned the simple steps like click and wait, but we wouldn't know what to do after that. So open Selenium IDE, click on the options, and yes, do all the other steps mentioned. Steps for getting started with Selenium testing. All you have to do is go to the page, open the Selenium IDE, tell it to record with the red round button on the right topmost corner, and it will start recording every action you perform thereafter. Mm, you can choose the login. You can choose the URL you want the Selenium test to have, and you can put it in the base URL. Enter the username and password, uh, and look in. Okay, this is very specific. I'm going to tell Sisters. Okay, I've clicked this page to go away particularly, and you have to have this. Put the URL in the base URL tab and start recording. Okay, going for the password, and login. And it's going to show every of the action that I performed. Like we got the driver to get the base URL plus all the other address, and then we found the Selenium will find the element with the ID name, and we clicked it, cleared it, sent the username and the password, and then we clicked at the submit button, and thereafter begins our real testing work, for which we can copy paste the demo, and we can copy paste the demo code and paste it in the ID and start performing the test. uh, for making it quick, I've already done something here in the test. Create a okay. This is what the Eclipse ID will look like initially. You will have your packages here, the project work, and then you can create a package source folder, and then you can go inside it, create a package, and then you can have a test unit there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go to www.google.com and see if that page uh, opens up correctly. So we all know that it has two options of Google search, and I'm feeling lucky below the search tab. And so that is one test I'm trying to do, that if I'm feeling lucky, then okay, I'm actually getting lucky with the test. And so what I did is started with the JUnit, class, and we had the variables. Then before starting with the test, I want the driver to get started. Uh, gave gave the URL into a variable base URL. Ask the driver to okay start, and after I'm done with the test, I want the driver to quit. So we have this code in after annotation. The test is very simple. I just ask the driver to get started and to get the base URL and test if uh, uh, the following string is in the base page source. Right clicking on the code and run it as JUnit. It's going to start, and yes, giving this green line, we see that test was a success. I've also created many tests in likewise manner, going through the same procedure. For the portal test, it was uh, for admin test, community test. We have helper, which contains the common tests and the common login, opening the login page, or the page object reference. The page object reference here contains all the variables that I'm going to use in the other code, and just giving them links so that in future, if the page source has any changes, the user can actually come to this code and change it here, which will be reflected in every other code from there end. Okay, we have the home page features like the about us. We can run one of this. It's basically about going to the Sisters page on the test server right now, and click on the about link and see if it's working all right. See, it's clicked, and we have this as a success. Similarly, all the other tests run. I've pushed it in the GitHub underneath portal test on the master branch of automated testing. Um, I've also pushed the PPT there, so for further reference, it can be used there. We also have DB tests, which I'm still working on. A little more change, and it will be good to go. And we have, though it's not very applicable at this moment, but going on a very logical basis, we are trying to make a test case that simply logins the user onto the page and check if uh, the login detail is present in the database, and give a success report if it's there. Anyways, so uh, I've also pasted the links that you would be requiring if you wish to go ahead with it. You can install Selenium here. You can install Eclipse. If the user wants to set up a virtual environment, uh, he or she can go to the dev environment for project development setup on Git repository of Sisters, and find the automated testing repository there, and follow the basic instructions present in the README and go about it. But since it's going to take a long time, I'd suggest to do it on the local machine for the user. And yes, the portal website, it is quite good. It's turning up great. And yes, I'll show it to you here, as though everybody would have seen it by now. But yes, you can go and check every feature of it. I've simply implemented the basic ones, which are most stable at the moment. I'm still working on the others uh, right now, and work so far is available on Git repository. I'm working on the documentation. The repository at this moment contains test cases for Portal, and I've tried to make the test framework as flexible as it can be, and I feel that it can be used in future for other web applications as well, with minor changes to the code in the helper, or in the other test codes in the helper folder. And I'm still working on DB test, which is what I think should be the part of my future in this project. And uh, I have still to create some more specific test cases for the portal, uh, just in time so that it finishes. So that is all I have at this moment. And yes, thank you.
Shrika,
Uh,
that was so amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the effort to do an extra hangout for us. The recording is going to be wonderful addition to what we have, and what I'll try to do is actually link this into the other into the main hangout that we did on Friday. But this is amazing work. Can you tell us what was the most challenging for you, and what is the one takeaway you came out of the whole program?
yeah, sure. Um, on this as a part of blog that you have sent, but I'm going to repeat it here. The most challenging part was keeping up to the schedule that I've prepared initially, and it was actually a rat race to keep up with that, since we had made a very ideal scenario there, and the
Hmm.
obstacles just keep bumping in. And setting up does take a lot of time. I've learned that, and yes, keeping up to the schedule was one part that I had a hard time, but I tried my best and finished most of the things in time.
Oh,
Being
that's
disciplined at the moment, giving that 5 6 hours of day's work to it, and then you have to skip some days of your sleep to just finish up and cope up. Yes, and I'm not going to claim that I knew everything from the starting. I've learned a lot.
that's
And so my basic takeaway would be the learning experience, the wonderful environment I got, and the wonderful people I met on my way. And it made me feel, since this was my first experience at open source community, I felt very much welcomed, very warm with all those people who were trying to help me out. And Wendy was superb. I doubt any mentor would have been so great as Wendy, and I'm really grateful she was there with me. And yes, the learning experience, the yes, that is all.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks so much. And Wendy, I totally agree. She started out with actually two students, and I asked her very early on if that would be okay, and she said it would be fine. Dorota had an opportunity to go into an internship program, and she's still eligible to apply next year. And but the work that she's done has been amazing as well. Wendy, did you want to add anything or give a little bit about your experience on the program?
Sure. So this was really awesome. Shweta worked so hard, and especially when we were scrambling to, um, at the end, get some portal testing done as the portal was coming online. It was really awesome to see stuff come all together. Um, I know a lot of times I had a vision in my mind of these test frameworks I'd done in the past, and I would talk to her about them, and it was so great to see it actually uh, come into existence here in the Sisters GitHub stuff. So that was really beautiful. We have, a really nice set of tools with the DB connections, and she did a great job with the Selenium page framework setup. So that's really cool to see that all the tests in there lined up and ready to start getting filled out against the portal and any of the other Sisters websites.
Yeah, this is amazing work, and I think oftentimes testing is really not, I guess, not as important as people would think, but it is so critical to the whole life cycle of software development because you definitely need to have your products tested before it actually goes out to production or have the public actually use it. So it is a very critical part. I have always learned that when I was developing. Um, so I'm glad that we were able to provide an automated testing component to our program, and it will always be there because it's just so critical and so important. I just want to thank both of you. You did an amazing job. I know the timeline was pretty tight, and working with external teams was probably a challenge on this project for you both. I don't think others. Well, I think only one other web project had that with the mobile applications, but your project, you were reliant and dependent on the portal team to make sure that they got, and you had some test cases available for them. So I love this program. I think it's great for the students because they actually get to learn a lot of technical skills, collaboration skills, and being able to contribute to open source. The mentors also, it's a huge enlightenment for them. I know a few of the our mentors. I went to them specifically because of the skills, but oftentimes they don't feel like they have enough to mentor. So I hope both of you will consider mentoring again for Sisters. And we are planning to apply to Google Code In, which is for 13 to 17-year-old, and this is a great opportunity to really market out and recruit some young girls. I think we can have a huge impact there, but I think we can have a huge impact for both girls and boys with the projects and the technology that we had this summer. So thank you both. Anything else? Any last
Thank
things or
you,
any
Rose.
questions? Oh, my pleasure. This has been an amazing. All of the projects have been new, so this was a learning experience for all of us, mentors, org admins, students. So this was amazing. Thank you both for participating and all the hard work that you've done and the time and commitment. That was really invaluable. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Rose, for giving me this opportunity in your organization, and I really appreciate the trust you had in me. And
Oh,
thank you, Wendy, for being so supportive, being so available all the time that I had needed you.
oh,
And I hope I don't put you down on this, and I hope I continue doing the work. And as far as mentoring goes, I'll be delighted to mentor all those little girls. Just
yeah.
the way I've been treated in this organization, I would love to impart the same experience to them if I get down to mentoring them.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to have you continue working on this because we really need the help. I'm so excited about the Sisters projects, the portal, and the volunteer management systems. And I really hope that you both are. We can really part of Sisters. We have a moral obligation to pass on what the benefits that we have just by being a sister. So, I really hope that you do decide to, because we'd love to have you both as mentoring. So, thank you both. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Okay, take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.